The studio was started in 1968 by Ann Robinson. She came down from Georgia, and her husband was working at Martin Marietta as a recreation director. She came to the city of Orlando and asked them if they thought a pottery program was a good idea. They agreed. She started the program and slowly started building up the program over the years into the program that it is now. They moved into a larger studio in the same building at the Downtown Recreation Center, and she left to pursue her own art in the mid-'80s, and Kim Miller took over and ran it for the next 26 years and added in even more programs and just really grew the base into the studio that it is now. It's pretty unique. There's a lot of city-run studios around the country, Austin, Texas, Tampa. It's a main part of their arts program, and a lot of times the pottery program is the most successful part of any city-run arts program.
I've been an artist as long as I can remember. The clay came in pretty late, so that's been about, I started the studio in '03. It was a very big fluke, actually, and I was skirting with clay, and I never actually started doing it until I walked into the studio. But when I was teaching at printmaking at Valencia Community College, it was right next door to the ceramics department, and I never actually went over and tried it. So a friend of mine was starting a ceramics supply company on Church, and I was helping him part-time. And so he said, there's this pottery studio 3 blocks over, or we could literally walk there. And I said, you're insane. I've lived here my whole life, and I never heard of this place. And when I joined in '03, it was pretty small. It was still pretty small. But I walked in there, and I pretty much never left for about 5 years, and it was just learning through being there all the time.
The Pottery Studio is a studio where people can come and do work in a safe environment that they can experiment and explore on their own. We also have classes. We also have adult classes that teach you pottery basics and some advanced classes. We also have classes for kids.
I did a little of everything while I was really active at the studio. I spent a year just throwing with porcelain. I spent a year just making teapots. It really gave you the time to do all these things. I loved the pit firings that they used to do. So I got to try all different kinds of things. I started doing soft slab, really highly decorative, stamped clay pieces of furniture, more or less, that have drawers and stuff. And I, was doing the sidewalk art shows, even with, my success with those pieces, and got in some galleries and things like that. So I really love throwing in the wheel, but hand building and with the soft slab stuff is my favorite thing to do. Yeah, it's very forgiving, and anybody can do it. Anybody can make something wonderful. If you follow a few simple rules, you're gonna have some piece that will last forever if you want it to. And it's just really calming. I would tell people it's the cheapest therapy in town, because you forget about everything while you're working on the clay.
To me, what I've gotten, especially from wheel throwing, it's the closest form of active meditation, the deepest form of active meditation that I've ever encountered. And I do meditation, but it's not the same as when I get into that zone when I'm on the wheel. So for me, it's a lot more spiritual than even an artistic practice. I feel connected to other forms of art, but when I'm on the wheel, it's really the time that I feel spiritual. So that's the simple answer to it.
I think that it's wonderful that the City of Orlando supports this and has always supported this for 50 years. It's a fantastic thing. The main reason that it's affordable for anybody to come out. That's what the studio is all about, to make sure that people can come out, and it's at an affordable level that anybody can come and to make art at the studio, and that's the best part about it.